Hey guys, welcome to this week's meeting of Epidemics Anonymous. I see many of the same faces in the audience. Seems like you guys are surviving very well. As you know, surviving with an epidemic is one of the hardest things a person can do. I mean, you put through all this struggle and people don't seem to care about you, but you know what? In this day and age, civilization moves forward. And we take care of each other, you know? We have stuff just like this. And you know what we're going to do together today? We're going to ride the way to healthiness. Alright, get out your Sick No More packets. Let's do this thing, alright?
I'm so sick of this stupid seminar. If it weren't for a chemical imbalance in my brain, I wouldn't even have to be here.
Listen, Anna. None of us want to be here. We all had just unusual circumstances that brought us here. But you know what? That's the thing. We have to learn to cope with them. We're here for each other. We're all brought together. And it's our job to treat each other like we should. So, if I'm right, I think it's time that we get started here. Actually, the Methodist youth group has the basement back at 5:30, so we better go fast. So anyway, you guys know the procedure. I'll start us off. Hello, everybody. My name is Ethan.
Hi, Ethan.
And I have suffered from the obesity epidemic. You know, it may be because it's the one I suffered from, but for me, obesity is the scariest of all the diseases. It's the one that kills us. It's quiet. It's a silent assassin. Most epidemics are loud and obvious, except obesity is just not that way. I mean, it's been going on for such a long time, but nobody seems to be doing anything about it. It's just going on as a part of subculture and at the front of our entire society. I mean, it's more like an old-fashioned epidemic. It's really weird. It's characterized by apathy and some kind of knowledge vacuum among victims. It's really ridiculous. I mean, in this era, we should be so knowledgeable and be able to stop these kind of things. I mean, that's what we do with most epidemics, except that's not what's going on with obesity. I mean, millions of people are dying from it, and the numbers are only going to go up. In America, every year, 300,000 people and $117 billion in healthcare costs can be attributed to obesity. I mean, come on, what is this? Doctors predict that by 2030, every year, 5 million people are going to die annually due to obesity and other diet-related diseases. I mean, this is ridiculous. But you know what? Thanks to this support group and working together with you guys, I've dealt with it. Society's problem at large is not mine anymore. In a time of great personal tragedy, only days after my uncle died from a cardiac arrest suffered while eating a quadruple patty Big Mac, I joined this support group and have since found my way back to the healthy path, losing 185 pounds in the process thanks to the help and support of these people right here. Although the cures for some of your diseases aren't as readily available as they were for mine, I mean, there's still hope for you guys. Technology and knowledge has advanced so much and so rapidly in this day and age, there's no reason that you guys can't have the same hopes that I did. One of these days, you're not going to have to worry about epidemics. Except, you know what? I think it's time for our next speaker. Let's have Anna come on and talk.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna.
Hi, Anna.
And I suffer from depression. I've been struggling with it for about a year, but lately it's taken a turn for the best. I used to hide in my room for hours, sleeping and crying, only leaving to go to school. The doctors really don't know why I got depressed. It just came out of nowhere. Before I was diagnosed, I led a happy life. I did well in school, and I knew I had people who cared about me. Then, all of a sudden, I couldn't sleep, and I experienced periods of feeling really happy and intensely sad. I never felt like eating, and I kept thinking about death. I knew something was wrong, so I went to the doctor and I was diagnosed with depression. I realized that I didn't have to be ashamed, and that depression did not define who I was. That's why I'm here at this support group, to show that we can overcome epidemics and that there is hope for the future.
Such deep words, Anna. If only more people cared as much as you did. I mean, there'd be no reason to be sad, would there? Anyway, Will, I believe it's your turn.
Hi everybody, my name is Will, and I have acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, better known as AIDS. I'm 33 years old and I've lived with HIV for 14 years, but I just recently developed AIDS. I contracted this illness when I was in a relationship with my then-girlfriend Cassandra. I was young and foolish at the time. We contemplated using a condom, but she said that she preferred birth control and I complied. Neither she nor I knew that she was infected, but apparently her former partner had transmitted it to her and I was next in line. She's long gone now. She passed away in 2008, but I still think about her every day and find it hard to make it through life without her. The average lifespan of someone who gets AIDS in their lifetime is just 24 years, so I could already be considered a survivor, but I fear for my life every day. The drugs that I take for AIDS make me feel sick almost every waking hour. I wish I could be normal for just one day. In fact, a couple times in the past few months, I haven't even taken it because of the nausea. The doctors have been really supportive through it all, and I know they wish me the best, but I just can't stand my medication any longer. Having AIDS just really sucks, you know? I mean, one wrong turn, you're doomed for life. The thing is that the doctors want to care for you, and they even have the materials to keep your body afloat, except after a while the whole ordeal just becomes too hard to handle. All the action in the world can't save me from the depression of losing my passions and my one true love.
Well said, Will. Hey, you know what? You know, guys, I actually think it's time for a water break. I think it's time for the old timers to come in and have a little chat with me, so you guys can scurry along and have some snacks for now. Welcome back, folks. You guys all know the drill. I think it's time for us to get sick no more. It's time to get out your packets. Let's go.
Do you ever get sick of yourself, Ethan? I mean, bad pun, I know, but seriously, your disease isn't even a real epidemic. At least people in your day and age know how to treat it. Back in my day, when I was alive, they didn't even have treatments for it when I was alive.
You know, I know you're angry, but that's okay, because you know what? I said to the last group, this is a support group. We're here for each other, alright? We're here to support each other. Support. Alright? Alright. Good. Got it? Good. Great. Alright, but Ji-Yoon, listen, if you want to talk, you can talk, but you gotta at least introduce yourself, follow the procedure here a little. So, go on.
Fine. Hello, people. My name's Ji-Yoon.
Hi, Ji-Yoon.
Hi, Ji-Yoon.
Let me tell you a story. Back in the day, when I was alive, I used to live in Africa. And don't ask why an Asian was living in Africa.
Either way, I lived in Africa, and I was minding my own business when I hear the sick buzzing. And we all know what that is, right, guys? Right. Well, it's freaking mosquito and its parasite ended my life, people. Anyways, I got bit by a parasitic mosquito that had malaria in it. That's terrible, really. I had to go through 3 stages of my unhappy life. The first stage was a cold stage. The next part was a hot stage. I had a fever, a blasted headache, and vomiting. A lot. The final piece was a sweating stage.
Mosquitoes, it was terrible. The next thing I know, here I am. Ghost of malaria. That's why I learned my lessons, kids. You gotta have a fly swatter for extra precautions. I heard that there's a cure for malaria these days, but you know, some parasites can be left over in your body. So I gotta get one of these.
Man, it really does suck that they couldn't stop mosquitoes back in those days, doesn't it?
Much for a support group.
That's what this is about, right? Emotionally recovered from those diseases that are hard to come across. You know, anyway, I think it's time that we talk to our favorite cholera victim over here. Shiling?
Hey, my name is Shiling.
Hi, Shiling.
Well, I have cholera, and yeah, it's terrible.
What the heck's cholera?
It's a disease that originated in Bengal, India in 1817. It makes people have diarrhea after eating contaminated food.
So, how'd you get it?
Let me tell you, I went to visit my relatives in the rurals of China.
Well, no. First, I gotta say that my roommate is super germophobic and makes me wash my hands every couple of minutes, and no matter what, she makes me eat only well-done steaks and meats. Well, not that there's anything wrong with cooked foods, though. Anyway, back to what I was saying earlier. I neglected to properly boil my water because I was tired from jet lag. And just like that, I had cholera. It was so regrettable. I mean, really, if I had taken the proper precautions and boiled my water and been more careful...
Geez, now I have to go through rehydration therapy to get my salts and electrolytes in my body. Well, I guess I'm lucky in a way, because I was diagnosed early, so I'm not one of the unfortunate 25% that could die from having cholera. Yeah, I guess that's a plus. Oh, and another thing. I'm also glad that people nowadays don't see me as a heretic. My parents told me some interesting stories about how the Siamese thought that cholera was a punishment from gods, and that the Russians dealt with cholera in the 19th century as we deal with Ebola now. They put infected people into isolation and declared cholera contagious. Sorry, I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh. Yeah, Shilling's gonna be a little while, I think it's time for Fadia to talk.
Well, I'm Fadia and I've been living with typhoid for about 3.5 weeks now.
Hi, Fadia.
Getting typhoid was probably the worst thing that ever happened to me. It completely took me by surprise, and since the doctor told me that not many people live past their 4th week, I'm pretty much just waiting to die.
It started like a common cold, so I didn't go to see a doctor or anything. I had a fever, headache, fatigue, all basic stuff. But then the fever just got higher and the headache wouldn't go away. And then this horrible rash appeared. For some reason, even though I was showing symptoms of something clearly worse than a cold, my parents didn't want to take me to the doctor. They thought I was being a wimp and just needed to tough it out. But that wasn't the case. I was living with typhoid. My fever just got worse, and since I had really bad constipation, I didn't eat, so I lost almost 20 pounds in those 2 weeks. I snuck out to see the doctor the other night, though. He said I would become delirious and start hallucinating. Even getting out of bed is a challenge now. I usually just lie there, but today, my sister had to drag me out of bed today just so I could make it to this meeting.
I don't know what's going on, but the doctor said that a lot of life-threatening things are going to be happening to me soon. Even if I do make it past this next week, I'd be luckier than most. But if I do, it's likely that the typhoid will come back in 2 weeks. There's no escaping typhoid, so I might as well just let it kill me now.
So tragic. I mean, I just can't believe that in any time frame, like any era, that parents could be so ignorant to just let their kids die like that. I mean, sure they didn't know about it, but that's despicable. How can you let your kid just die? God. But hey, man, I think it's time for us to bring the rest of our group back together, and we can have our closing statements. Oh, jeez. Church youth group's gonna be here soon, so I think we gotta hurry up. Guys? Alright guys, welcome back. I just got a great text. The youth group's had to cancel. You know what that means. Closing statements for everyone tonight. If you guys just listen to me for a couple minutes, next time for drinks I won't bring the sugar-free skim water. Sound like a deal?
Fine.
Great. Alright, so I think from our talks today, there's a few things we've learned about epidemics and how the reaction to them has changed over time. I mean, first of all, many years ago, sufferers of an epidemic or a serious disease like cholera or typhoid were often denied the treatment that they really needed. I mean, surely science wasn't as advanced, so we couldn't be as proactive because we simply weren't as knowledgeable. Except these days, it's been a blessing, really. That science has advanced, our knowledge has been deepened to the point where we can actually afford to be proactive and help these people. I mean, nowadays, having a disease isn't so much as a life ruiner as it is just a setback. I mean, one day it may even not mean so much as that at all. I mean, we're progressing very rapidly through our society in dealing with these diseases. And as we move forward, our sponsors are only going to develop to be more advanced. But you know what the biggest thing we can do now? Is stick together. Because one of these days, we're going to be sick no more. Let's go! Yeah.
But we work like 4 hours.
Okay.
Do you ever get sick of yourself, Ethan? I mean, seriously? Bad pun, I know. But like, get with the program, Ethan! Sorry, just like, stop.
Welcome back, folks. You guys all know. Welcome back. Welcome back, folks. You guys all know the drill. I think time to get your packets out. Welcome back, guys. You guys all know the drill. Let's get our packets, because
Okay, Fadia.
we get
Oh no, another
some
30
more to cut.
minutes.
We're done! Yeah!